Hello and welcome to War Hospital. It is a game that I started playing with one of my friends, and I actually streamed this game to my friend by using Discord, and it actually took us like a couple of months because we couldn't find the time to play together, and I didn't want to go through it alone. As you can see, as it says, basically it's a game to honor the memory of the people that used to work in hospitals during the First World War.
My dear son, I was unable to stop the events that led to the fact that today I am going to the front and you are no longer there. You cannot imagine how much pain I carry in my heart. With your death, I question the sense of my continued existence.
This must be some kind of joke.
But fate throws me to a place where I might be able to save your colleagues and many others.
So that cinematic was in a way to put us into the game, and as you can see right now, we are getting greeted by the people that are going to work with us. Of course, we are going to be the director of the whole hospital, and he's the head doctor. And as you can see, I'm also pointing out at the basic buildings that we are going, of course, to see again later onto the video. And we are, it's a basically we're playing a tragic
Major Henry Wells.
director, as in he's a doctor and his son actually died in the front lines before he was assigned to this job. Of course, I don't think that he would be able to save him, of course, but in a way it's like too little, not too little, but it's too late to even be near him, yeah? And that is really important. As you can see now, it's going straightforward in. You have to learn how to use the basic system. You get patients and you have to assign each of them to a specific doctor to operate them. And as you can see right there, it's really interesting that they are showing basically a small history of the patient, of the soldier. Most of the times they are soldiers. They are this rehabilitation center after the operation, of course the operation ward, the pharmacy where we make all of the supplies, and you can see here the basically the tech tree. It's a really nice tech tree. The warehouse as well, and the train station with all the schedules, the cemetery. I mean the train station is very important to check the schedules, otherwise, because they bring in supplies, they bring in doctors or personnel that you are hiring. The scouting tent is for the scouts that you're going to get later. And there is the advanced dressing station, which basically connects you to the front line, the trenches of the front line. These are the freights, the supplies, basically what you have to make. You have the morale, food, which is also, of course, important. The military drafts and the staff points. The staff points are to get new workers. Yeah, not exactly workers, but you get what I mean. You have the medic teams, which are really important. The nurses who can work to specific and places, and of course they have some preferences. They want to work, for example, like the first only 8 hours of the day. And this is really cool. Look at it. It's so nice. It's so nice. They're the patients with the records, what you're going to do to them. Yeah, and the cemetery is kind of, it's kind of bad to look at. So here is the first chapter again, but a little bit forward, a few days later, and we have the different specialties of doctors, and of course the patients that have different problems, and you have to treat them appropriately. This is the rehabilitation center where you check combat power and morale. Depending on where you're going to send them, they're going to give you something, and you can see also when they got admitted, what did they have, a short story of themselves. Sometimes it writes, yeah, well, he was born in that blah blah, and he had 2 children. Yeah, this is the whole map where you basically use it to just send the scouts, and there is also story behind these scout missions. All in all, it's a really nice game based on storytelling. It's not so much about how you're going to win this game. It's more of a story that they are trying, and I have to say they succeed to actually tell you this story in a proper way. As you can see, the doctors are also getting tired after all of the operations that they're going to do, and they have to rest, and you of course have to manage that. And here are the records of the cemetery. They are buried. Actually, you can see also the names. You can check everything. Or that guy right there is waiting to get buried. This guy is being buried. Of course, it's sad, and I don't recommend to play this game if you actually cannot take this emotional damage. This is also a little bit later, where yeah, we have advanced detective. We're pushing forward the main story, and as you can see, we can order as well resources, but you can also craft them yourself. Of course, at the beginning, you're not going to craft them so much. Basically, you are depending on the train, and it's really interesting. On the second chapter, the train is actually going to not come for a few days because of some problems. I'm not going to say anything more because it's a story-based game, and you have to rely on yourself. So right there, it's basically something happened during this operation, and you have to check it out. You can check the doctor, you can check all of the stats of the patient, and you have to make a decision. Of course, it's going to say what is going to happen. Morale rises, or what. You can also amputate the leg, and that wasn't planned. Here you can see the advanced tracing station, and it says 25 wounded soldiers in the trenches. Basically, you are going to have some events that are on the top bar right there. You are going to have fights. You are going to get a lot of wounded soldiers that you have to, of course, get out there and get them in our clearing stations, and the nurses are going to take care of them. It's really important to have good nurses on the casualty clearing station because they are the ones that actually keep them alive until it is time for them to finally get operated by the doctors that you have. And sometimes, yeah, as you can see, I'm basically holding them right there to just get some money, get some power, get some men to the back to the trenches. You are going to get some VIPs as well. They can be, because you are playing as the Allies or the Entente, they can be soldiers from the Axis that are going to give you some infos about what is going on the other side of the front lines, or they can be some refugees, or they can actually be family members from traditionally military family. Here you can see one of the most important features of the game, leveling up the characters. You can see sadistic, you can get a negative effect that you, of course, sometimes you have to get rid of, and it's really important to take care of that. Here is the whole map where the scouts are actually working. As you can see, it's a really detailed game and a nice game. Here is one of the events that I get from the scouting that I did on the map. You have to actually read it to understand, of course, what's going on, and you make decisions accordingly. And as you can see right there, it says the time of operation, operation difficulty, failure chance. Everything is really important, and of course, how much does it cost to get them operated. And there you have to basically fix the timetable for the operations. And sometimes you can decide, when you actually research it, you can decide if you want to amputate a leg or something like that. Yeah, it might be not so nice. Like here you can see we have the option amputate the leg or some other options, and again you can check the patient card, and you can sometimes decide emotionally what you want to do, although I don't recommend it. This is the working assignment, It is a panel that you're going to spend a lot of time on. As you can see, you have everything from nurses to clearing station medic teams, and engineers and scouts. You even have their shifts, the shift schedule, or where they are actually working. You can see that sometimes they prefer to work in that place or in that place. For example, in pharmacy, like that guy right there, and that one doesn't have any preference, so it's okay. If they do work in a station that they prefer, of course you are going to get morale. Up top of the bar with the cross and the head skull is where you is a meter of how many you have healed and how many have died, and according to that you're going to be humanitarian or ruthless according to the game. As you can see, these are the quests I'm showing right now, and the middle one is from the scouts, while the top one is the main one. Right there is the indicator of when is going to be the next combat, and these small indicators are when the patients are going to be ready and get sent to the front according to what I have decided in the rehabilitation center, if of course have already decided. As you can see, it's a really detailed and once again detailed and nice game that it really wants to put you in the shoes of a medical director in one of the hospitals in the First World War. And if you do want to check it out as a story, I do recommend it, although you have to have a really strong stomach, because of course it's not an easy decision to make who you are going to operate first, and or if you must amputate the leg or do whatever. Sometimes they are permanent decisions. And yeah, that's about it. It's a nice game that focuses on storytelling, but of course if you just want to not to look deeper, sure you can do that and just play the game as a game, but I do recommend trying to do just that, look deeper, get into the shoes of the director and the people that were actually working in these hospitals, because their story, what they went through, because this story couldn't be more relevant to the present day.